All right, welcome everyone. This is our, I think, fifth video installment with the Fit-Tastic partners. Today we're joined by Max Kaniger at Candis Markets. My name is Matt Kleiman. I work for Wayne Inn, but we're really excited to have Max here talking about all the work that Candis Markets is doing related to food access, and especially right now with everything going on with COVID-19. Max, thanks for joining us. Feel free to introduce yourself. What is it that you do?
Thanks, Matt. It's good to see you again. As you said, my name is Max Kaniger. I'm the founder and CEO of Candis Markets, a new, smaller nonprofit here in Kansas City that is working to eliminate food deserts, or areas without consistent access to fresh, healthy, and affordable food. Typically, we were doing that by working with small mom and pop corner convenience stores and providing them with all the equipment they need to sell and make that food available in their community at really affordable prices. And then we were stocking those shelves for them 7 days a week on consignment, so that it was a really low risk option for the small business owner that's in the community, and we could provide really great food at affordable prices. But since COVID, we've transitioned to use our resources and experience in any way we can come up with to make sure as much food gets where it's needed as possible.
That's great. I know, we've had opportunities to work together over the years. My participation with Dot Mobile Grocer. Also, though, Children's Mercy, y'all have been doing a lot of work with the community garden over at Children's Mercy's campus. And so can you just share a little bit like how it's different for a nonprofit to be in this space of food access, because margins are slim and it's a challenge. But you all have a mission related to food deserts. And so I just want to give you a chance to talk about like, how is it that you all are working to improve the health of the community?
Yeah, I mean, health for me starts with what we eat. And so making that at least available and having that choice for members of all communities was really important. And you're right, it was a little bit of a challenge, getting this model off the ground and trying to figure out how we can make sure that people have that option to eat really fresh, healthy, locally grown produce when it's available. Because it's really what we stock is, whole, uncut, fresh fruits and vegetables. It's kind of our priority. It makes a big impact, but how we do that and how we're able to make sure that when we buy from farmers that they're able to get a fairly good price for it. And when we work with wholesalers, we're able to help them maybe reduce what would maybe be going into landfills and try and fill that gap in the community and make sure that everything is really affordable and accessible and ready to eat.
And so you mentioned doing that as kind of your normal operations, but with COVID-19, the whole food system right now feels sometimes like it's a little bit disarray. And you all have been kind of a light for that to kind of get people under an umbrella. Your capacity is growing. You all are building stuff out. Can you talk a little bit about how Candis Markets is responding to this crisis?
Yeah, absolutely. So we, like I said, we typically we're working with corner convenience store, mom and pop shops. We've got 27 partner stores right now. We'll be opening another 12 in the next month or month and a half. And that really, COVID-wise, is a great way to have a lot of smaller access points for people. But via the Healthy Corner Store program, we were distributing around 6,000 to 8,000 pounds of fresh produce per week, which was wonderful and something I was very proud of for being only a couple of years into this. As COVID happened, the corner stores were not enough. That's just not enough to get where the need shot up, as a lot of people were losing their jobs and not really sure what to do next. We started using we just moved into a new 15,000 square foot warehouse and put in some refrigeration. We were expecting to take about 5 years to grow into, but in times like this, we can't wait like that. So we started working with some of the local wholesalers and the new USDA farm to family food box. So our distribution weekly went from the 6,000 to 8,000 pounds up to, it's been hovering right around 100,000 pounds a week of food that we've been getting out to different community centers, churches, other nonprofits, and things like that that can help get it to people who need it.
That, that's incredible. I remember meeting you years ago when you were just starting out to see how important Canby's Markets is to the community to get food around. I don't think people appreciate the challenge of what it takes to may handle the logistics of that, and especially right now with these USDA food boxes, that's the way a lot of people are going to be getting food in the foreseeable future because of how easy it is to get a box, but it's really hard on the back end to provide that box because you're talking about, like you said, thousands and thousands and thousands of these things on a weekly basis.
Mm-hmm.
I know the group I've been working with, Dot Mobile Grocer, has been benefiting from having your warehouse capacity to get more food out into the community. But I'm curious, just take a second first, for folks maybe in Children's Mercy, for folks out in the community with Fit-Tastic, families trying to be healthy. If you were to dream a little bit, what would a Kansas City food system look like in a couple of years, say 2 years from now? I know that's a big question, but I'm really curious. We're starting to see a lot of things build towards one another and break down.
Mm-hmm.
What would a healthy food system in Kansas City look like in your worldview with Canby's Markets?
It's like my favorite question. That is what I kind of dream about at night. I guess if I might be a little weird that's kind of the stuff I dream about, but one of the opportunities, I guess, and I hate even calling it an opportunity, but one of the opportunities with all of these systems breaking down and kind of falling apart is we have a moment where we can, over the next couple of years, build them back the right way. We can build them back in a way that's equitable and isn't leaving people behind, and is supporting the farmers while reducing waste and lowering our global footprint. And I think it is possible. I think our Healthy Corner stores will play a big part in that. I think just because they offer a huge kind of existing network that has a really great relationship within the communities. I think organizations like Children's Mercy and Fit-Tastic are a big part of that, and how we communicate and work within the neighborhood, and not just around food, but around health in general. I think some of the Guadalupe centers and community organizations, Ivanhoe neighborhood organization, will play a big part in that. And I think our traditional food system will also still be a part of that, because it still means that a lot of people are moving a whole lot of food, and as long as we have a way, an access point or an entry point for people who might not have traditionally been able to get to or afford fresh produce in the grocery stores, or some of those typical ways of getting food. If we create those different pathways where it's more affordable and we're keeping stuff out of landfill, I think it's achievable that we can have a really, really well functioning food system where everybody has at least the choice to eat healthy. And then with your help, maybe we can make that choice seem a little bit more desirable than the Snickers or the hot Cheetos.
Yeah, I know it's certainly a challenge, and access and availability is just part of that. But it's good to know that there are folks like you and Candies on the back end doing the hard work to kind of make sure stuff is fresh and getting to the right locations. So where can people find out about Candies? Is there a map of where you all have your stores? If a store owner or a family wants to go and find where they can, see Candies out in their neighborhood, how do they find out about what you all are doing?
We're working on getting that a little bit better. Right now, the best place to do that would be our website, candesmarkets.org. And any questions can be emailed to info@candesmarkets.org. So KANBESMARKETS.org. We're growing, and we're growing how we get that information out to more people that may not have access to the internet or a computer, and trying to really meet people where they are. So that's the goal, is to make this as easy as possible. There's a lot of other hard things we got to deal with right now, and food doesn't need to be one of them.
Great. Well, that's great. One more thing I was going to ask you. So we typically put a lot of links below, and we haven't mentioned a lot of other programs, but I know you work in this, constellation of other food nonprofits, organizations that are doing great work. take 30 seconds and plug as many of them as you can.
Oh my God, you're gonna quiz me on
Like,
it.
who are your friends in this space? Who's going to build the new holistic, healthy food system with local food for, affordable for all KC families in Kansas City by Kansas City?
Well, I guess then I'd start with the farmers and Cultivate KC and the Food Hub and the great work that they're doing, and moving from farmers, of which there are hundreds, so I could dive into that for hours and hours. And one of our teammates, Brandy Schoen, used to run the KC Food Circle, which I think KC Healthy Kids is now working with. And there's a great resource on their website for a list of, I think, several hundred local farmers. But from there, we're also working with a group called the Chef Collective that is actually working to prepare hot meals and get those out, again, in a lot of different community-facing organizations. We're working with the Mid-America Regional Council now to get some frozen home-delivered meals to people who might not even be able to get down to their neighborhood corner store. I'm a big fan of both KC Can Compost and the Compost Collective, kind of completing that cycle of just making sure that everything that comes through either our food system or restaurants or some of the other wholesalers and traditional food systems doesn't end up in landfills, that we are still making sure everything that can be composted and reused is composted and reused. And I think between that group, and there are many more on the education side, we couldn't do it without Fit-Tastic and Children's Mercy and some of those kind of groups that are helping us really spread this information and have had a foothold in the community for a long time. Sam Rogers Health Center has also been really helpful with that. So just every time I keep thinking there's more and more, and I think that's the best part about it is, the longer you do it, there are so many partners, and we wouldn't even begin to be doing what we are doing and had the success that we've had without that foundation of all these other organizations that have been here before, and that are then coming along with us, like the Dot Mobile Grocer being here and helping us spread over into Wyandotte County too. It just it's exciting to see that there are a lot of people here in Kansas City on both sides of the state line working so hard.
That's great. Last bonus question, I'll let you go. What is the best new recipe you found using the food that you all are moving around?
Oh my God.
What's something you cooked recently that people ought to try out or check out?
There's been too many really good ones. There was one we did yesterday with just some smoked peppers and a couple mangoes. That was a really, really delicious. But I think a week or so ago, my favorite was we had a lot of excess grapes and jalapenos that were going to be going to the landfill or going to compost. And the chefs at Chef Collective were able to, I think it was about 40 or 50 pounds of grapes and jalapenos that they threw on the smoker and create this like sweet, it was like a barbecue sauce kind of consistency, but had this little like grape sweetness with a little jalapeno spice. And I mean, it went on just about anything. And yeah, I'm still thinking about it.
That sounds great. I'm going to come over and have some later, sometime next week.
Yeah. Lunch is always available.
Well, thanks, Max. Thank you for all the great work you're doing. And anybody that is interested in learning more about Kanbe's markets, check out the links below. Stay tuned for next week's edition of our partner spotlight. But thank you again, Max, and everybody at Kanbe's. We know how you all are doing a lot to keep KC connected and well fed. So thank you again. Yeah, stay Fit-Tastic, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Matt. It was a pleasure.
Bye.